Good, solid movement there, straight into the ball by Matthew Hayden. So Hayden and Slater, the two that put on that magnificent partnership before it was broken by a run out. Now, I don't care what Mr. Slater has to say. The truth of the matter is that will be in the back of his mind. He's run his partner out twice already in this series, and he won't want to do it again. So that's something that he will definitely be thinking about. And Hayden might just have it in the back of his mind as well. Oh, what a good shot. That's a magnificent blow through the offside field. Into the fence it goes, slightly over pitched. In fact, it wasn't that bad a delivery. Brand new ball, and it's been flayed through the offside.
Just a bit too full there from Courtney Walsh. No problems driving those through the offside.
Yep. Well, that's well played too. That's a little bit too straight, and it's flicked away through the onside field beautifully. This Hayden certainly looks in good form. That was a lovely shot. He's very powerful. He's strong, tall man.
Timing it very well. Just 3 men on the onside, found the gap between the square leg and the mid wicket quite comfortably, or the wideish mid on. Very good series so far from Matt Hayden. 2 half centuries. First test, of course, he was run out again for 44.
Slater calling well that time. He's off for a quick single straight away. And to his partner's credit, he responded in a really positive manner. Away he went. Not even a second thought given to any hesitancy. Slater's off the mark, and all is well that ends well. The other important thing about running between the wickets is that you've got to be very careful that you don't start to act before you actually say something. A lot of players that get into trouble tend to go down the wicket running like this and then say wait when they've already taken 3 or 4 meters, and that tends to give the guy down the other end the wobbles.
That's right, he's not absolutely sure what's happening. He sees someone heading towards him and thinks that he has to respond.
Oh, that's out. That's out, caught. That's the end of Michael Slater. That ball seemed to bounce very, very steeply. It was pretty well pitched up. Slater was sort of half and half on it. I think it may have flicked his gloves, but there's no doubt that there was a little bit of, well, a strange bounce, really.
Well, that's a line that they have to be bowling. Just outside the off stump. This pitch is behaving a little bit differently, and that line is perfect. That length is perfect as well. He's coming forward, but he cannot drive. It's 1 for 8 Australia.
So wicketkeeper Ridley Jacobs gets a catch.
Justin Langer, Australia is number 3. 36 test matches, an average of on the 40 mark, asking for centre. And the sort of player that this Australian team like in a situation like that, like this, should I say. He's a real fighter. He can get in behind it here and just get off to a bit of a start. Then it might be okay, but he's not going out there in form. 3, 5 and 6 are the most recent scores. He's got to his credit in test match cricket this season. Oh, well bowled. A little bit of bounce there as well. Right, well, let's have another look at the dismissal. I thought it might have been glove, but it wasn't. It was the outside edge of the bat.
But it bounced awkwardly, so I think most people would have thought that it perhaps brushed the glove on the way through, but you'll definitely see that the ball hit the bat pretty high up on the bat, right close to the handle of the bat, and you'll see also the ball hitting the pitch and a bit of dust coming off the pitch. That's the nature of this pitch today.
This gives you some idea of the value of the sneakometer. Let's see. First of all, we have the shoulder of the bat, and then let's see if there's anything else there. There we are. That's it. Now you see, I thought there was a bit of glove in that.
Definitely a chance of it hitting the glove as well, because certainly if it hits the shoulder of the bat, it will deflect it upwards towards the glove. That was definitely the bat. Big deflection off the bat, and then a brush off the glove. Or perhaps it was a bee buzzing by.
Well, there we are. I think, yeah, just a little bit of each. Shoulder of the bat, brush of a glove, and through to the keeper. One played away on the onside as a seagull went swooping across. It happens from time to time. They've been known to be hit. Certainly birds have been known to be hit. There we are. Watch him go. Ball and the seagull all mixed up together.
Well trained seagull, trained by the West Indies.
One for 11. 130 is the target. Oh, and that one hit a crack and really did deviate. And you can see Courtney Walsh having a little peep down at the pitch there. That might have been the one Ian Healy was talking about earlier today. It's a bit short, but obviously Bar's registered.
Oh, it's a good shot. It's a confidence-boosting shot from Justin Langer. Short and wide, and he put it away.
It was a great shot. Not much footwork. Didn't need much footwork because it wasn't that wide. Just stayed in the crease. Smashed it. They haven't got a gully.
Something I've always noted about Matthew Hayden, he's very strong. Doesn't actually have a big back lift or a big wrist cock either. He just hits the ball very firmly. Very strong upper body. Takes the pull shot with almost a short arm jab. He punches through the offside more so than the slashing cover drives of Brian Lara and what have you. He's a different sort of player to that. More of a hard hitter or a punching action. Oh, that's a chance. To bottom edge. Matthew Hayden standing his ground. The umpire are getting together. Umpire Steve Davis is calling for the third umpire. Now it's a bottom edge. Certainly no concern about whether he hit it or not. It's definitely a big bottom edge. The only concern is whether the ball actually carried to Ridley Jacobs. West Indies are very confident. They feel it's carried no problem. Umpire Steve Davis is just going to the third umpire to have a look.
I hope Steve Davis has got a decision in his mind. If this doesn't prove to be conclusive, it comes back to Steve Davis, surely. Ridley Jacobs off balance, into the gloves on the full. It is conclusive. Ridley Jacobs, no problems with it, never did. Matthew Hayden was totally opposite. Matthew Hayden is out.
That replay tended to suggest to me that caught that. That looks like it's carried to me all right.
Matthew Hayden conclusively out.
As he looks up.
So decision out.
The dreaded look at the umpire. He puts his finger up. The red light's on. Matthew Hayden's got to go. So that's a big wicket for the West Indies. Looking in pretty good form, Matthew Hayden, both in the first innings and here today. So that's a big wicket for them. Very, very good catch in the end. As I said, Jacobs was going to his left to start with. Inside bottom edge. He had to go back to his right. In the end, he did very well. Matthew Hayden's out.
So
2 for 22.
Jacobs gets the catch.
Mark Waugh comes in at number 4 for Australia. Very good form also so far this summer. Mark Waugh says thank you very much. go round the wicket. If you're going to bowl short and wide, I'll take you for 4.
Was this planned, or was it a mistake by Courtney Walsh? Doesn't look too unperturbed. Too perturbed. Right across Mark Waugh. That's obviously the line he wanted. Did he want that length? I'm not so sure.
That's out. That is out. That's caught behind. That one's bounced on Mark Waugh. It's a good ball. Roundabout off stump. It bounced, flicked the gloves, and Ridley Jacobs has got the 3rd catch of the innings.
This is what the West Indies didn't do first innings. Australia made 400 runs because they weren't this consistent. 2 balls, Michael Slater and Mark Waugh. Both good length, both doing enough, both caught by Ridley Jacobs. Mervyn Dillon enjoying himself here in Adelaide. Mark Waugh gone for 5, 3 for 27.
Well, the Australian vice-captain, Ricky Ponting, makes his way to the crease. 92 in the first innings.
Come on.
26th birthday tomorrow for Ricky Ponting. Averaging 47 in Test match cricket. Comes in a very tough situation here.
Yes.
First time we've seen loose one from Mervyn Dillon. It beats the man at point. They'll now get 3 or 4 for that.
Marlon Samuels hasn't quite got his fielding right this game, but I didn't mind this effort. Good aggressive move, a good angle to the ball, had a go.
Well, that's a good shot. That'll be 4. It wasn't that short, Justin Langer. He was in position very quickly and he put it away.
Very difficult to time this shot. He didn't play it with any great flourish. No big backlift, just a little forearm jolt.
That's a good shot. The fielder will be hoping it goes for 4, otherwise they might run 6. Just made it. That's good news for the fielder. It was a pretty good shot because the ball hustled onto him a bit, so much so that he hit it over mid-on rather than pulling it through mid-wicket or past square.
He dragged it from quite a long way outside off stump. That's the problem with pitching a bit too short.
Right.
Marlon Samuels is going to make it a bit more awkward. He's making his Test match debut. He's an off spinner and he's gone past the outside edge with one of his specialties, out of the rough stuff. And that's what Langer has to do. He's got an inexperienced bowler coming around the wicket into the rough stuff, and it's not at all easy. Every time there's something a bit offline, Langer has to take advantage of it.
Wasn't that short, but it shows you the positive approach that Justin Langer's taking.
Oh, one more. That's over.
3 for 48.
No.
141 at one point. They were 2 for 87. And then Lara got out, Miller got him, caught by Langer. Very good top spinner. It was good thinking. He'd spun the ball before quite viciously away from the left-hander. And Miller finished with 5 for 32. Great match return for him, 10 wickets. And he bowled intelligently. Oh, yes! Kept low while Ponting is looking as though he reckons it might just have been an inside edge. But it was a fierce breakback, and now the Australians are in trouble.
Well, as I said before, Courtney Walsh, to get LBWs against the right-hander, batsman has got to be a long way back. Ricky Ponting was certainly that, pushing back to the short delivery, and it's hit him in line.
So Ricky Ponting got
hit the
LBW to
stumps.
Courtney Walsh
It's
for
4
11.
for 48.
Still plenty in this game. 4 for 48, the Australians.
Courtney Walsh maintaining a good length. He pushed Ricky Ponting right back onto the stumps. That's where he's got to have the batsman to get the LBW. It's just a matter of whether he got a nick on it or not. If it was a very faint one, and you couldn't blame the umpire for not hearing it. He's indicated that there was an inside edge there.
Well, there was no deviation there. If there was any nick, it must have been a feather.
I must say my reaction
Ball.
immediately I saw him hold the bat up was that he probably got an inside edge. So you wouldn't see a guy like Ricky Ponting holding his bat up if he hadn't. However, I think Michael Holding will probably say it's a question of swings and roundabouts. You win some and lose some.
What I'll say, Tony, is the score is 10-3. Still a long way to go to get even. But Ricky Ponting is from Tasmania. He's an honest man. He would put his bat up. I wouldn't doubt him once he put it. Definitely movement of the bat there onto the pad.
And that's edgy, but it's running away down towards the boundary. There's no one down there. It'll probably go all the way. Will it? It'll be dragged back. Oh, he's managed to get it back, but I think that he was probably in the gutter. I'm sure that the umpires will want to have a look at this. They've run 4 anyhow, so we may as well not waste the time.
Well, apparently Mr. Davis isn't convinced. No point wasting time on this. It's 4 runs whichever way it goes. Well, certainly wasn't 4 by hitting the boundary or getting into the ropes, as you might say. But it's 4 all run.
It's a good line. They've got 2 slips and a gully in there. Obviously, you can't have all those catches up there and a third man. But that is a very good line, just short of a length and just outside that off stump. Get the batsman driving.
Excellent line. That's the line that you have got to bowl. Walsh Dillon eventually found that line just before lunch yesterday and continued to bowl that line after lunch and again today. Has bowled really well since he found that line. Now Courtney Walsh sticking to that line just outside off stump as well. Jimmy Adams making a field change.
Just looking at that field, Michael, and bearing in mind the line he's bowling, are there any adjustments that you'd make?
I would certainly love to see this man here at mid-on just a fraction straighter. He was very wide previously. They have brought him a little bit straighter, but I'd still love to see him just a fraction straighter. If you are bowling the line just outside off stump, it's going to be difficult for the batsman to work it through the mid-wicket region. Excellent line. That's the line. You have got to keep it there. It's a matter of patience and discipline. Be patient and have the discipline to just keep on bowling that line throughout the day. Not a lot of runs are going to be scored off deliveries like that.
Oh, and he's beaten the outside edge again. He's bowling a magnificent line at the moment. He really is. He's decided to home in just outside off stump, just short of a length. This is the line and length.
Perfect.
That's nicely played. That's into the gap. back for the second. Will they be looking for third? Langer is thinking about it. No, he says. No point in taking any chances here.
My next.
This is a very important spell now in this game. See if Nixon McLean can maintain that line for both batsmen, which should be just outside off stump. That one was on line with the stumps. That's why it was worked through the onside comfortably.
Oh, and there's a misfield there. These runs are all absolutely vital.
Mervyn Dillon, the man at mid-on. With a pretty long spell, almost falling over. Not really a dive this. London Bridge. Very important, these runs. Australia counting down, 68 to get, 6 wickets in hand. Everyone in the dressing room will be counting down these runs. Painstakingly so.